Hey guys, before we get started with this review, check the links below in the description box for more valuable content. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like or a comment, or both. I read and reply to all comments, even the snarky ones. Thanks a lot, bro. Don't forget to follow me on social media. Links will be below for that as well. If you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing to my growing channel for future improvements, reviews, comparisons, and anything in between. Facebook reviews and testimonials are always appreciated as well. Interested in my artwork or the process of how I go about making things? Head on over to painterlystew.com. I will also leave a link in the description box below. There you can check out some of my designs, paintings, process, and prints over in the shop. Any support is much appreciated and helps me fund future improvements to this YouTube channel. And lastly, how can I improve and what would you like to see next? With all that said, thanks for stopping by and I hope you enjoy this review. Hey there friend, and welcome aboard. Stu Black here, HomeStudioBasics.com, and before we get into the Beyerdynamic DT770 Black Mage modded version from Craig Boyles over at Mage Audio, grab a snack, sit back and relax because you've come to the right place. I don't even wear glasses, but let's talk about specifications. The Black Mage is a closed-back, circumaural headphone with a dynamic driver, an impedance of 80 ohm,
a sensitivity of not specified,
a frequency response of not specified, a color of black, and a weight of 301 grams. Let's get into comfort. This is a stock Beyerdynamic DT770. Of course it's been tuned, but as far as comfort, it's extremely lightweight and comfortable on your head. Clamp force is just perfect. It doesn't sit too tight or too loose. I would consider this in between the fit of an HD600 and the fit of an SHP 9500. Whereas the 9500 is a bit too loose, the HD600 can be a bit too tight, especially at first. The Beyerdynamic DT770 inhabits that middle ground and is extremely comfortable for long listening sessions and extended use. The ear cups are very large and envelop your ears quite nicely. The cups themselves are a tad shallow, but I don't feel that my ears are touching the drivers inside. They give ample room for your Ross Perot sized ears. And the headband is very comfortable as well. As you can see,
it's a button up,
which is kind of awkward, but it's made of a faux leather, protein type of leather, and on the inside, just a metal band. Folks over at Beyerdynamic are a little bit weird in that sense. A button-up headband? Like, who does that? But all in all, this is a fantastically comfortable set of headphones. Scintillating, superb, stupendous. Insert your adjective here. I mean, even Bear likes them. They are Beyerdynamics after all. You so punny! Look at that. Bam! Thumbs up, dude! What are you listening to, Bear? What's it to you?
Anyways,
let's get into build quality. The build quality of the DT770 stock is mostly plastic, but it's a rugged plastic. I would say this headphone weighs about as much as a Audio-Technica ATH M40X. The ear cups on these are velour. They are very spacious, like I said, in the comfort section. The headband is made of pleather, faux leather. The headband adjustment, I think, is metal. You can see, pretty solid adjustment. It's a little bit hard to pull For the most part, it's good. This is a very lightweight headphone, which is good because it's meant for the studio, meant for long listening sessions. The cable is non-detachable and it's fairly long and terminates in a 3.5 millimeter jack and comes with a 1/4 inch adapter. Fairly standard stuff here. Talking about the sound is probably the best part of this review. This is a modded version of the DT770, tuned by none other than Craig Boyles over at mageaudio.com. He did a fantastic job over the last year, tweaking the sound and taming the treble, as well as rolling off the bass a bit and adding some mid-range clarity. Well, first let's talk about the bass. So the bass rolls off quite a bit. I would say on par with the HD600's bass. Very articulate, very detailed. You're able to hear the bass, not feel it. The mid-range, I talked with Craig about the mid-range. My impressions were that it's a bit forward, and he told me that I was right through email, and also said that a guy at Audio Advice said the same thing. Between 1 and 3K, it's a bit boosted. It's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing because it renders vocals and instruments with
stunning accuracy.
So what about the treble? The treble is a bit on the darker side, which is good. I kind of appreciate what he did here. The stock DT770's treble is known to be very peaky and bright / sibilant. Craig decided that he was going to tame it down, and he did a fantastic job of it. Overall, the sound is very neutral, very clinical, very sterile, very detailed, very articulate, very insert adjective here. He was going for what he likes to call the ultimate closed back experience. Did he achieve what he set out for with this headphone? I would say yes. I go into much more detail and depth in my written review, which is close to 4,000 words. It was fairly exhausting to write, but I had a lot of fun with it. I tested a lot of tracks with these bad boys. I would give the sound overall an A. I cannot give it an A+ because there are times when it's kind of lacking body, a sense of fullness, a sense of warmth, but you're able to hear so much going on. In fact, I would liken Craig's modded version of the DT770 to something like the Focal Utopia as far as pure detail is concerned. Honestly, it's on that level of transparency, which is fairly stunning when you really get down to it. He's worked on this headphone for over a year, and it really shows. For a more in-depth look, please check out my review. I will provide a link in the description box below, and I will also link a time card above. How about imaging? Imaging is superb, tremendous. In fact, the imaging on Craig's modded DT770 is perhaps its greatest strength. You're able to hear sounds in all directions.
Up, left, right, diagonal, left bottom, diagonal, right bottom, above your head and below your chin.
An immaculately detailed rendition of the music. At times, it becomes almost too much of a good thing. Why do I say that? Because this headphone is extremely transparent and honest. It will reveal flaws in recordings, so make sure that you have the best source files possible. Overall, imaging, A+.
A number 1 for imaging.
Will you need an amp for this bad boy? I think you will. And I say that because plugged into my phone, it didn't really sound loud enough. I don't know what the sensitivity on the stock DT770 80 ohm version is. I found that plugged into an amp, these really shine. I used the Shit Magni Modi stack as well as the Oppo HA2. Oh, also I used an old Panasonic CD player, which surprisingly sounds very good with headphones like the HD600 and HD650. Actually, it's not so surprising because traditionally higher output impedance sources do better with high impedance headphones like the HD600 and HD650. In fact, that stereo player is about 15 years old now. It just makes those two headphones sing. With the Modded DT770 out of the Panasonic, it wasn't quite as good because of the lower impedance. I would say these almost require an amplifier of some sort to sound their best. What about genre pairing? Anything ranging from rock, metal, jazz, classical, hip-hop, rap, indie, pop, and EDM are all genres that I listen to on a regular basis.
The DT770
Mage from Craig Boyles at Mage Audio sounded fantastic with all genres mentioned.
I particularly like them with rock and indie pop, which are my two go-to genres in addition to hip-hop. The Mage gave me a newfound sense of discovery and wonder. I could not believe all of the extra sounds that I was hearing. I thought that the HD600 and Focal Utopia revealed everything until I heard the Mage. Maybe it's just my imagination.
Haha.
Maybe it's just my imagination. But let's get serious. The Mage DT770 reveals so much, and so it does tend to do well with all genres because it's so neutral and balanced. There's not a genre
Left behind.
How do these do with gaming? Bear, you getting this? You recording, Bear? This is gonna be my best time trial yet. You ready? As far as gaming is concerned, I would say the Mage paired with the Audio Engine D1 or the JDS Labs Objective 2 with the DAC Magic 100 from Cambridge Audio is just about the most incredible experience that I've ever had. In a word,
Cinematic.
it was just exquisite. Soundstage is immaculate, detailed. This is the most detail I think I've ever heard. Just plugging your headphones right into the controller is pretty good, but with the D1, soundstage opens up, more details are heard. Everything becomes so immaculately dense, textured, to the point of me not wanting to leave the couch. It was that good. The Objective 2 paired with the DAC Magic has more power than a D1. There's more headroom, but you're really not gonna need to turn up the volume much past, I don't know, 12 o'clock. With the D1, you can turn it up most of the way. But in like firefights in Fallout 4, you're not going to want it too loud because it tends to get super crazy.
Gonna splatter your brains!
The signal is so clean, like it's ridiculous how clean both of these amps are. I would say the D1 is a little bit warmer, but it's so slight. Like for under $200, I would buy it in a heartbeat. In fact, I'm probably gonna buy one because it's just that good. You know the dashboard music from the PlayStation 4, that ambient music? I sat there and listened to it for like 10 minutes. I could hear stuff that I never even dreamed was there before. Way in the background, like way back here. And it was just incredible. Highly recommended for gaming. In fact, this might be the best overall closed back for gaming. And you can check my article on the best headphones for gaming. I go into great detail there. I also go into how to hook it up, how to hook up your D1 or an O2. Or you can use a Magni and a Modi 2 Uber. Just make sure you get the Uber version because it has optical and you need that to plug in to your PS4 or your Xbox. I would say the DAC Magic is a little bit cleaner overall, but it could be my imagination. There are differences between like various amps. I've tested out about 14 amp DACs, and there are subtle differences from amp to amp. They're not huge, but you will be able to tell. Like I would say an O2 is a little bit cleaner than a Magni 2. I have not tried the Magni 3. It should be on its way. For $200 to $300, you're not going to need to go any higher for a gaming setup, and in all honesty, I would probably just recommend the D1 and call it a day. It's a perfect amp DAC, and you can also use it to power your studio monitors, and you can use it as a headphone amp, and you can use it for gaming, so it's really versatile. The DAC Magic is also really versatile, but you'll have to pair it with an amp. So yeah, the Mage, highly recommended for gaming. So what's my final grade for the Mage Audio DT770 modded version from Craig Boyles? I would give these a solid A. Why can't I give them an A+, you might ask? I cannot give them an A+ because of a couple of things. The main reason being the headphones sometimes is too cold, meaning it's almost colder than an HD600. Sometimes there's a lack of body, a lack of fullness, a lack of warmth. The Mage Audio DT770 modded version is unabashed, unapologetic about its detail retrieval, about its transparency, and about its honesty. But overall,